right, everybody, buckle up. Because today, we are diving deep into some seriously shady dealings in, you guessed it, political ads.
Sounds right up our alley.
It really is. So we're digging into this piece from HuffPost, and it's about a super PAC.
Oh boy, super PACs. Those are always a fun time.
The shadiest, right? And this one is funded by Elon Musk, no less.
Of course.
Yeah, and they are using some, well, let's just say creative tactics to try and sway voters.
Well, let's break it down then. What's the deal with this super PAC?
Okay, so, super PACs. Quick reminder for everyone listening, these groups can basically spend unlimited money on elections.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying how much influence they can have.
Right. And where does all that money come from? Well, anyone, really. People, corporations, even unions sometimes.
And they don't exactly have a ton of rules about how they can use it, which is the scary part.
Exactly, which is how you get situations like the one we're talking about today, this Future Coalition super PAC, bankrolled by Elon Musk, a guy who is very, very public about supporting Trump.
That's interesting, especially considering this is all going down right as we're getting into the final weeks before the election.
Talk about high stakes, right. And they're putting a lot of their focus on a couple swing states, in particular Michigan and Pennsylvania.
Smart strategy, if a little, well, manipulative. Swing states are where it's at if you want to influence an election.
Absolutely. But here's where it gets really interesting. So in Michigan, they're targeting areas with large Muslim populations. Seems pretty standard so far, right? But get this. They're portraying Kamala Harris as, like, super pro-Israel.
Wait, really?
Yeah. They're playing up her support for Israel, even highlighting the fact that her husband, Doug Emhoff, is Jewish.
Almost like they're implying it's a bad thing to be pro-Israel in those areas.
Right. It's all very suggestive. And it gets worse. They're actually claiming that supporters of a free Palestine hate Kamala Harris.
Oh, wow, that's playing dirty. Using fear and division like that, not cool.
Not at all. But wait, because it gets even shadier. In Pennsylvania, which has a much larger Jewish population, they're running the opposite message.
No way. Seriously.
Yep. Suddenly, Harris is painted as anti-Israel, way too sympathetic to Palestine. They're bringing up her stance on providing weapons to Israel during the latest conflict, even implying she supports rabidly anti-Semitic college protesters.
Wow, talk about a complete 180. It's like they're crafting their message to exploit specific anxieties depending on who they're talking to.
That's exactly what's so unnerving about this. It's like they're saying whatever they think people want to hear, regardless of the truth, all to get their chosen candidate elected.
And that's the danger of super PACs. This kind of two-faced campaigning, it preys on people's fears, and it undermines the entire political process. But you wonder, what does this kind of targeted disinformation do to people?
Right. Like, if we can't even agree on a basic set of facts, how can we possibly have a functioning democracy?
It's a good question, and unfortunately, I don't have the answer. But what I do know is that we need to be aware of these tactics, because the more we understand how they work, the less likely we are to be manipulated by them.
Couldn't agree more. We didn't set out to take sides on the whole Israel-Palestine issue here, or even the election itself, really.
Right. The goal is just to show how information can be twisted and manipulated, especially during something as important as an election.
Exactly. So everyone listening, do your own research, be critical of what you see and hear, and don't let yourself be swayed by fear-mongering or carefully chosen sound bites.
Think for yourself. Don't let someone like Elon Musk tell you what to believe.
Amen to that. And that brings us to the question we'll leave you with today. If this is what political campaigns look like now, what does the future hold?